My book is primarily about my sister Dottie and I and what happened in our childhood. Most of the book is factual. The character in the book, Tasha, is actually my sister Dottie. The character Jen in the book is really me. My sister Dottie and I both suffered emotional and sexual abuse. We were abused by our mother. My mother did really horrible things growing up. She would take cats and kittens and drown them in our bathtub. She would make me hold the kittens underwater until they drowned. My mother did this because she was mentally ill. It made me feel sick. My mother was very sexually abusive. Growing up, my mom would call me into the bathroom. She would want me to wash her back. She would play with herself sexually. I was very confused and mortified. When I was around 12 years old, my mother introduced me to a man in his mid-20s. My mother insisted that I should have sex with this man. I had sex with this guy 5 days a week for 2 years. My mission is to bring awareness. I don't want people to go through what I have as a child. My family thinks that I wrote the book to be vindictive and cruel to my mother.
In my eyes, Jori's absolutely insane. She's crazy, she's delusional. She cannot differentiate the difference between fantasy and reality.
My brother Grant is not in the book at all. It has nothing to do with Grant. With all the abuse and neglect I had growing up, I feel grateful for making it out alive.
I'm trying to find out what we're talking about here. Are we talking about things that happened or things that you say you made up? Because you say you made up some of this for sensationalism.
I just typed what came out. I didn't have any pre-planning or any idea if it was going to be fiction or nonfiction. I was severely depressed and suicidal and just started writing this book.
Okay, well, here are some of the key allegations that you made, that you had to drown kittens, that your mother mixed dead cat meat with rice and fed them to your father, that you were forced to watch her pleasure herself, that your sister was raped and tortured at one point and your mother didn't listen to her, didn't believe her, that you were gang raped in your own home, that your mother forced you kids to eat cat food?
Yes.
And that she forced your sister to get breast implants at age 14?
That's what my sister told me.
Satanic rituals were going on. She killed your neighbor with pills?
Yes.
Murdered him?
Yes, her.
This goes on and on, but
Yes.
I mean, this was horrible happenings, right?
Yes.
And these are things that you know actually happened.
Yes.
I'm trying to determine if you're a compassionate advocate for those that have been abused, or if you're an exploitive exhibitionist that has put your family through a lot of exposure and hurt because you are vindictive or an exhibitionist. I don't know. I'm not being judgmental at all.
No.
I'm trying to find out. And you seem to be telling me 3 or 4 different stories in the last 15 minutes.
Wow, really? I don't think there's a person in this audience who would spend their life savings to write a book, gain 30 pounds, and go in financial debt, and then destroy their family and lose all their friends and loved ones to do something like this.
In my eyes, I feel like the book is a total book of lies. When I think about what my sister did, I'm angry. It bothers me that she wrote a book based on our family without my permission. My mom was a good mom. She did the best she could with what she had to work with. Jori saying that my mom encouraged her to go out with older men is definitely a complete lie. I would say the only truth about the book was there was 3 siblings and a mom, and there was mental illness in the family. The book is a joke. It's not even close to reality. I think Jori has done everything in her power to ruin my life. I worked at a bank. Jori had contacted me to ask if she was still listed on her father's trust account. I looked to see if her name was listed on it. I informed her that it wasn't. I did exactly what she asked me to do.
I had never asked Grant to go into my accounts.
She went into her local branch where she lives and said, my brother's been accessing my account without my permission. I demand that he be fired or I'm gonna sue this bank. That same day, I was fired from my job.
Grant lost his job, he went berserk.
I was livid. I wanted to kill her. I left her 3 or 4 messages. I called her about every name possible.
You just started a war you can't finish, bitch. Worthless piece of.
We actually were going to do this show like a month or two ago.
Right.
At the last minute, you decided you didn't want to do it.
Right.
Why did you decide that you actually did want to do it?
I was in the middle of a custody case, and under the advice of my attorney, I was told not to do the show.
Right.
And I started receiving threatening text messages from Jori, exactly what she planned to do if I didn't do the show. And I decided.
She threatened you if you didn't do the show?
Yeah, she said that she was going to make my life a living hell if I didn't do the show. And I saved those text messages.
No, I'd like to see him.
Well, okay. Here's a text message from you at 10:50 a.m. to him. Apparently, you removed a restraining order so you could be at the show. You said, "You don't show up, this restraining order will go back to effect, and I will make your life a living hell because you're a liar. Everybody's going to know that because the truth always wins, and you're just proving, and I will make your life a living hell."
I can explain that.
Well, it does sound
And it
like
is
you're
vindictive.
kind of
I know it's
threatening
vindictive and
him
it's
that
cruel.
you're going to make his life a living hell if he doesn't show up.
And the reason I wrote that is because he actually wrote that to me in the opposite manner, so I responded with his exact words just to let him feel like, how does it feel? How do you like it? But it is true. He did promise in court that he would go to the DrPhil show so we could resolve our family issues.
Well, I understand, but you did kind of threaten him.
Yeah, I probably did.
Probably.
You say in your book review, you write this, and you say...
And I stand behind every word I wrote.
Right. You say the author of this book describes herself as a victim of abuse. The only thing she's a victim of is her own severe mental illness. I mean, that's what you wrote when you were there.
Yep.
I know this firsthand because she is my sister. Of all of us kids, Jori was absolutely never neglected or abused, as she claims, but in fact was obviously favored by our mother, and in all reality was a spoiled, rotten brat.
Yep.
When Jori was a teenager, she was heavily into drugs, mainly meth and LSD. Rather than own up to her own bad decisions, she has grown up to falsely blame others for her difficulties in life. People deserve the truth about this author rather than listen to her twisted tale of lies. Signed, Jori's brother.
Yep.
So that's your opinion.
Yep.
This is America.
Yep.
You're entitled to your opinion. You wrote it down. You posted it as a review. That's your opinion. But the truth is, you may not know how she was treated for the 11 years that you weren't present.
I know what happened from the time on, and I'll tell you what, half the things that she said in the book, I do remember those times.
Okay,
I was there,
that's
and it
fair.
didn't
But
happen.
you do acknowledge there was an 11-year gap.
I already acknowledged it, Dr.
Okay.
Phil.
Did you do meth and LSD?
I don't even know what meth and LSD, how to do them.
God.
So that's
Looks
no.
like-
You didn't do
No.
meth or LSD.
No.
Do we have any polygraph tests around?
How do you know that she did?
Because I remember her talking about it. Jori, when I was younger, Jori, she attempted to educate me about drugs from her experiences. And she was honest with me about what she had done. Yeah. And, she's told me about her experiences.
Did you tell him that?
I think that my brother has some mental illness going on right now.
Jori claims that my mother committed suicide, which is completely ridiculous. Jori said that she found a note under my mom's pillow, and the note was a suicide note.
The letter was written by my mother to my sister Dottie and I.
The letter basically said my mom did not want to live anymore, and that because my sister and I were just such failures in life that she feels worthless and life isn't worth living. Off and bye. It was really nasty.
My sister and I didn't want to tell Grant about the letter. We wanted him to believe our mother had a heart attack and that she did not commit suicide.
I ripped it in a million pieces, ran into the toilet, and flushed it. And I said, this never happened.
You don't believe that your mother, in fact, took her own life?
No.
But the two of you, did you find her together?
No.
Did you both read the suicide note?
Yes, I read she read it prior to me, if I'm correct, and then I read it. Sorry. It was really awful.
Was it in your mother's handwriting?
It was.
And there's no question about that.
There's not. My sister handed it to me, and I read it, and I was so devastated by it.
If my mother wanted to commit suicide, she did so at a really odd time because My son was due to be born any day at that time, and I had spoken to my mother the day before she passed away, and she could not wait to meet my son. She was in really good spirits, and you know, my dad told me the story of how things went down when she passed away. She was in the shower, and my dad was outside doing some yard work, and he heard she had a bell when she was in trouble because of her health.
A cowbell.
It was like a cowbell that she would ring if something was wrong, and my dad heard that bell ringing. He ran into her room. She was still wet from the shower, laying on the bed. He helped with a robe on. He helped the paramedics load her into the ambulance. In doing that, all the bedding was generally removed. When I got there, my mother's body wasn't even cold yet, and Jori was rifling through her room, taking the belongings out of there. And I said, "What are you doing?"
You're disturbing.
I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Dad doesn't need to see these things around the house right now."
You're sick.
And I know, I saw her with my own eyes going through her stuff.
That is the most disgusting,
I'm
appalling
talking
thing
right now,
I
excuse
ever
me.
heard in my life.
And as she's going through all the stuff, then she's saying that she found a note under the pillow. My dad confirmed that absolutely did not happen. You know, when I first heard about this note, I didn't know what to think, and I was upset. I thought, oh my gosh, my mom committed suicide. But after looking at all the facts, I don't buy it.
If that's your truth and you know that, then that's it. And
I don't know, though. That's a problem. Like, I don't know. Like, I would like to think my mom would not do that to herself. I'm the last person to speak with her an hour before she died. I feel so responsible on a level that's unhealthy, and I felt so guilty even telling my brother, and then I felt relief, and then I felt sick that I told him about it. After I swore, and we had a sister tie, we went to talk, I broke that bond. And we're here because now everything hit the fan after I told my brother about the note.
My sister Dottie was actually very supportive while I was writing the book. After the book was published, my sister said that the book was frickin' awesome and she loved it. Then my sister did a flip-flop and started to recant her statements of how wonderful the book was.
Now that my sister's gone public with this book, it's really caused our entire family to be in disarray. I feel like people don't even look at me the same, like I'm a freak or something for going through what I did.
You said things and then you took things back or changed the next day. And so I'm wondering if these memories and perceptions are a moving reality for you, because you're saying some of the stuff is coming back to you. Mm-hmm. Is it coming back to you in bits and pieces?
Yes.
I think that my mom's death really affected Jori because she got in an argument. She didn't have closure. There was something weird there that I can't understand or fathom, but I know for a fact because you did tell me, and my mother, the last conversation that Jori told her, go freaking die, I hate you. But that they had that relationship was very unhealthy. It was very unhealthy.
And the day she died, my stepfather had called me at my office, and I went down to his house, and he asked me to go in her room and remove all the sheets. Yes, they were a mess. They were everywhere. I never said that the letter was a suicide letter at that time, and I never said it was under the pillow. It was on the side of the bed with a big binder, so I'm surprised my stepfather didn't see it because it had letters to all of us. That same exact day, I gave that to my stepfather, and I saw the letter and it said to my daughters, and it was in an envelope. So I called my sister and read it to her. At the time, I didn't think it was a suicide letter. It wasn't addressed to Grant. It was just addressed to us two, and I read it to her over the phone.
You did tell me the note was under the pillow. You didn't say it was a suicide note. When I read it, it was like, holy moly, how can someone say this? I'm not mad at you, I love you. I'm worried for her when she goes home that something's gonna happen to her. I have fear right now. As the bigger sister, I have concern that my sister will do something to herself, and I'm very worried about that. I don't take that light. I'm here for a few reasons, mainly because I'm concerned.
It is becoming to you, as a father, as a man, as an individual, to say, I choose to forgive you and wish you well.
And that's the thing, his children adore me.
No, my children want
And
nothing to do with you
really,
anymore because of what you did to me.
Guess who spent all day with me 2 days ago? Your children.
Okay, stop.
You need to stay away from that.
Stop.
Now you know why I talk fast.
Stop. No, we agreed you were going to be quiet.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm sorry, okay. Sign language.
I'm just saying, you need to hear it, just guy to guy here. When you got bitterness and hatred in your heart, it changes who you are in every relationship you have.
That's fine. You need to stay away from my kids regardless. I don't care.
I'm just asking you to consider what I'm saying. Just consider it, okay?
Sure.
Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay? Fair enough. Do your work. Do the things you got to do. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.